Yo, it's Sway.
Sway.
Sway. Sway.
Sway.
Sway.
Sway.
In the morning.
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 Only on Shade 45.
Wake your fuck ass up.
Yeah. Bitches.
You got a couple of things. We got to touch on this book. You like my brother, so this is an interesting conversation. And I will admit, man, so, how do you do this one, right? Let's start with Lauryn, because everybody, you've already gone on record. You said that, you guys, everybody, the world suspected it. The world knew. Let's say that there was a relationship between Lauryn and you. Mm-hmm. And that one of the biggest moments that kind of severed the ties between the Fugees is, in a sense, you said you lost your muse when she was pregnant and led you to believe that the baby was yours. I think we're talking about Zion, right? The now baby Zion.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. How did you find out? Were you there when she gave birth, or how did she tell you? How did you realize the baby wasn't yours?
Okay, the first part of it is, for everybody that's listening, understand that I'm like 42 now, right?
Yeah.
So what I did basically, this is the part of the book that everyone taps into, but they don't say any of the good stuff that I say about Lauryn. They go right to, yo, you call Lauryn a liar because the baby, and that's the headline. But I want to clarify a few things.
Okay.
One is that in history, the story will be told. Truth always comes out one way or another. Mm-hmm. Now, if I don't say anything, right, and just say I don't exist no more in 30 or 40 years, right, but there was somebody, or just say I pass in a year. I'm just giving you an example. Mm-hmm. Somebody comes out with a book that says, I was in the hospital when Wyclef was in the hospital, and, Lauryn was in the hospital having a child, and Wyclef was out there waiting, so that would be that person's interpretation of a book. There's all kinds of witnesses that already know what was going on. I've learned the best way is to just put it out there yourself. Okay. Because at the end of the day, when you put the stuff out there yourself, don't nobody have anything to say about
no
you.
More questions.
So leading to your point, right? We was definitely in a steamy relationship that you already knew about, that everybody knew about. So outside of my wife, when we was on tour, it wasn't like a fake relationship. Like everybody knew. There was like, yo, like there was, whether if it was fighting, if it was anything. So now I'm in my 20s. So, when you in your 20s, you a dude, you a rock star, you automatically think every woman in the world belongs to you. That's just in your 20s as a rock star. It's part of the syndrome of a rock star. And it's hard to explain it to someone unless you in that shoes. It's like Lord of the Rings. Yeah. So dudes be like, yo, I don't know what you're talking about. That would never happen to me. Because you never wore the ring. Yeah. Like if you wore that ring, right? When you wear that ring and you in the studio with a beautiful chocolate woman every 2 minutes, and she's right, she's singing, she's vibing, y'all coming up with material, right? Something's bound to happen.
That's what Dr. Jeff, who came by the show, said earlier when we were talking about, in fact, we was talking about your story,
relationship with coworkers.
It happens because you're spending so much time. How did you find out about it? Were you at the hospital?
Yeah, but that's not really how I found out about it. It's just, there was nothing in my mind to lead me to not believing
that child was yours,
that it was not mine. Right? Do a man show up in the hospital? Like, no matter what she is to say, why was I the one in the hospital and not Ro? So I'm just saying. So at the end of the day, so no matter how the story falls and it unfolds, no matter what different versions you get for Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, Christ was crucified and then he rose from the dead. So however you looked at it, I was there because at the time in my 20s, I believe that this is my child, and I'm so bad, man. That's my child, that's my woman, and I got a wife, and who gonna do something about it? So, looking back at the arrogancy, the immaturity, the childishness, I have to write this because guess what? There's a young Wyclef out there on the come up, and he gonna read my book, and I can't be in those that know me and one thing you always respect about me, that you're gonna get the answer because I can't fake.
You can't fake,
and I can't put it into like a Disney form. I have to tell you what it is.
That's why I like interviewing you, because I know you're gonna answer my question no matter how ridiculous it may be. All right, we're gonna come back because I want to ask you about the sex. I'm joking. All right, we're gonna come back. Wyclef, Sway in the morning.
It's Sway in the morning, only on Shade 45.